Welcome in, everyone. We're diving deep today into the world of leafy sea dragons.
Oh, yeah.
These creatures, they're absolutely mesmerizing. And we're going to be looking at this really cool YouTube video by naturalist Nick Baker,
Oh, awesome.
where he's on this quest to find them in the waters of South Australia. And, you might already know a little bit about these creatures, but
Yeah.
get ready to uncover some details that are really going to blow your mind.
I'm ready.
They're almost mythical, and
Yeah.
we even touch on some of the challenges that they're facing in our changing world.
It's pretty incredible how, even for someone like Nick, who's dedicated his life to exploring nature,
Right.
encountering a leafy sea dragon is like stumbling upon a creature straight out of legend.
Right. Like, you can almost feel his disbelief in the footage when he finally spots one.
Oh, for sure.
He even mentions thinking the search would take hours, but there it was,
Wow.
practically right under the jetty.
Wow.
And what's even more remarkable is that these sea dragons have incredibly small territories.
Yeah.
Sometimes no bigger than 10 square meters.
Tiny.
It makes you wonder how something so extraordinary can exist within such a confined space.
It really highlights their remarkable adaptation to their specific habitat.
Yeah?
Kelp forests and eelgrass beds along the South Australian coast.
Ah, so you mean
Their appearance plays a crucial role here.
those intricate leafy appendages.
Yeah,
It's more than just a fancy outfit, isn't it?
absolutely. Those appendages are the key to their masterful camouflage. They mimic the seaweed with such precision that they practically vanish into their surroundings.
Wow.
The footage shows how even Nick, with his trained eye, almost overlooked one.
Wow.
This camouflage is especially crucial considering they don't venture very far from their home turf.
That's fascinating. They're not exactly known for their speed, are they?
Yeah, not really.
It's incredible to think that they don't even have a traditional tail fin for propulsion.
Their movement is truly unique.
Right.
They rely on a pulsating dorsal fin along their back,
Hmm.
and those tiny pectoral fins on their sides act almost like miniature helicopter rotors.
It's amazing.
This allows them to maneuver gracefully within the dense kelp forests,
Mm-hmm.
but makes long-distance travel quite a challenge.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're masters of disguise,
Mhm.
but not exactly marathon swimmers.
Nope.
But wouldn't natural selection typically favor faster, more adaptable creatures?
Mm.
How have they managed to thrive for so long with this seemingly limited mobility?
Well, that's where their specialization becomes both a blessing and a curse.
Okay.
This limited mobility, combined with their impeccable camouflage, makes them incredibly well suited to their very specific environment.
Right.
For millions of years, this strategy has allowed them to avoid predators and thrive in their niche.
It's like they've perfected the art of stillness,
Totally.
becoming one with their surroundings.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And their appearance, those flowing appendages and vibrant colors,
Oh.
further enhances this illusion, making them almost indistinguishable from the swaying seaweed.
It's almost poetic
Yeah.
how their very being reflects the environment they inhabit.
Mm-hmm.
But as you mentioned earlier, this specialization also makes them vulnerable,
It does.
especially in the face of a changing world.
Exactly. And Nick's video actually touches upon this.
Okay.
He explains how recent storms and strong currents have significantly disrupted their usual habitat,
Wow.
making it even more difficult to find them.
So the very environment that has shaped them for millennia
Yeah.
is now undergoing rapid changes,
It is.
posing a new set of challenges.
Yes, and this is where understanding their unique biology and behavior becomes crucial for conservation efforts.
Yeah.
Their small territories and limited mobility mean they are directly impacted by habitat loss or degradation.
Right.
They can't simply swim away to a new location if their home is compromised.
It's like their survival is intrinsically linked to the health and stability of their specific patch of kelp forest.
It is.
That makes their story even more poignant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've talked about their camouflage and movement,
Uh-huh.
but there's another fascinating aspect we haven't explored yet.
Okay.
Their absolutely unique way of reproducing.
Ah, yes. The males are the ones who shoulder the responsibility of carrying the eggs.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about a few eggs. We're talking potentially hundreds of offspring at a time.
Lots of babies.
In the video, Nick finds a male sea dragon named Max,
Oh, cool.
who may have fathered as many as 250 babies that year.
Wow.
Imagine the dedication involved in caring for that many eggs.
What's even more remarkable is that they also found Max's partner, Michelle,
Ah.
which boosts the hope of finding their offspring.
It's like a real-life fairy tale.
It is.
But while finding Max and Michelle offers a glimmer of hope,
Yeah.
It also underscores just how fragile their existence is.
Uh-huh.
Each breeding season becomes incredibly crucial for their survival as a species.
Absolutely. Every successful breeding season represents a triumph against the odds,
Right.
especially in the face of the challenges they currently face.
This deep dive has already uncovered so much.
It has.
We've explored their camouflage, their unique way of moving, and even their unusual breeding habits.
Yeah.
What else can you tell us about these amazing creatures?
We've only just begun to scratch the surface.
Huh?
There's so much more to learn about their feeding habits, their social interactions,
Wow.
the threats they face from predators,
Uh-huh.
and how they contribute to the delicate balance of the kelp forest ecosystem.
So there are even more fascinating layers to uncover.
There are.
We'll dive into those intriguing details in just a bit.
Sounds good.
It's easy to get swept away by the sheer wonder of these creatures.
Yeah,
And rightfully so, but as we delve deeper,
right.
it's important to recognize that their beauty is intertwined with a certain vulnerability.
You're absolutely right. Their specialization is both their strength and their Achilles heel.
Right.
Their camouflage, slow movement, and reliance on a very specific habitat
Yeah.
are adaptations that have allowed them to flourish in their niche for millennia.
Yet those same adaptations make them incredibly susceptible to any changes in that environment,
Yeah.
especially the rapid shifts we're seeing today.
Exactly. And we as humans are unfortunately contributing to a lot of that disruption.
Right.
Climate change, pollution, and habitat loss
Yeah.
are all significant threats to the leafy sea dragon's survival.
It's almost like a domino effect.
Yeah.
One change triggering a cascade that ultimately impacts these delicate creatures. For instance, we know rising water temperatures can
Yeah.
disrupt the growth of kelp forests,
Right.
which are essential for their camouflage and breeding.
Precisely protecting the leafy sea dragon isn't just about safeguarding individuals.
Right.
It's about preserving their entire habitat
Yeah.
and the intricate web of life that supports them.
That's when things get really complex.
Yeah.
It's not just about tackling pollution or reducing carbon emissions.
Right.
It's about managing fisheries, protecting coastlines, and even understanding how human activities on land impact the ocean. It's a multifaceted challenge that demands a holistic approach.
And it's a challenge we absolutely cannot ignore.
Right.
Losing the leafy sea dragon wouldn't simply be a tragedy for biodiversity.
Right.
It would be a loss for our own sense of wonder and connection to the natural world.
You know, it's striking how their very existence challenges our perception of what it means to be successful.
Yeah.
The natural world, they're not about speed or aggression. They're about blending in, conserving energy, and becoming one with their surroundings.
Right.
It's a powerful lesson, especially in a world that often prioritizes speed competition and consumption.
Indeed, perhaps by understanding and appreciating creatures like the leafy sea dragon,
Right.
we can start to shift our own perspectives and find a more sustainable path forward.
Yeah.
Speaking of understanding, we briefly touched upon their breeding habits earlier,
Uh-huh.
but let's delve a bit deeper. The male sea dragon's role in carrying the eggs is truly remarkable.
Absolutely. The video shows how the female deposits hundreds of bright pink eggs onto a special brood patch
Yeah.
under the male's tail.
Wow.
He then fertilizes and cares for these eggs until they hatch.
It's a sight to behold.
Right.
The eggs are nestled securely within this brood patch, receiving nourishment and oxygen from a network of tiny blood vessels.
Amazing.
The male diligently cares for them, protecting them from predators and ensuring their survival.
It's a level of paternal dedication you don't often see in the animal kingdom.
Oh, no.
But this intricate process also highlights their vulnerability.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the impact of pollution or habitat loss on these developing embryos.
Right.
It makes each successful hatching even more precious.
That's a crucial point. The survival of these delicate offspring hinges on the health of their environment.
Right.
Any disruption to the water quality, the kelp forests, or the delicate balance of the ecosystem
Yeah.
can have devastating consequences for the next generation.
It really emphasizes the importance of protecting not just individual sea dragons, but their entire habitat and the intricate web of life that sustains them. This brings us back to the challenges they face and the question of what we can do to help. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the problem.
You're right, it can feel daunting.
Yeah.
But even small actions can have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Supporting organizations dedicated to protecting marine habitats,
Right.
reducing our own carbon footprint,
Yeah.
and raising awareness about the plight of creatures like the leafy sea dragon are all steps in the right direction.
I think education is paramount.
Yeah.
The more we understand about these creatures, the more we appreciate their value and the more likely we are to advocate for their protection.
Right.
This deep dive has certainly been an eye-opener for me.
Me too.
Learning about their intricate camouflage, unique movement, and incredible breeding habits has filled me with a sense of awe and a renewed commitment to protecting our oceans.
I completely agree. It's amazing how something as seemingly delicate as a leafy sea dragon can teach us so much about the interconnectedness of life on Earth. They remind us that every action we take, no matter how small, can have far-reaching consequences. Their story underscores the importance of respecting the delicate balance of nature and taking responsibility for our impact on the planet.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey so far.
It has.
But we're not quite done yet. There are even more fascinating details to uncover about these captivating creatures.
No, awesome.
Stay tuned as we continue our exploration into the world of leafy sea dragons. It's incredible how something as small and seemingly delicate as a leafy sea dragon can teach us so much about the interconnectedness of life on Earth. Their story really highlights how even the most magical creatures are vulnerable, and their fate is intertwined with our own.
What's particularly striking is how their very existence challenges our perception of what it means to be successful in the natural world. They've thrived not through speed, aggression, or dominance, but by mastering the art of blending in, conserving energy, and becoming one with their environment. It's a powerful lesson, especially in a world that often prioritizes speed, competition, and consumption.
It's a reminder that there's another way to thrive, a way that's based on harmony, balance, and respect for the natural world. Maybe by understanding and appreciating creatures like the leafy sea dragon, we could start to shift our own perspectives and find a more sustainable path forward.
You know, in the video, there's a moment where Nick talks about how difficult it is to remove leafy sea dragons from their natural habitat.
Oh, yeah.
He even says he can't imagine ever taking one out of the ocean.
Yes, he emphasizes how these creatures belong in their specific environment. And that's a powerful message. Trying to keep them in an aquarium, no matter how well-intentioned, simply can't replicate the complexity of their natural habitat.
It speaks to the importance of respecting their place in the web of life. And understanding that our actions have consequences for their survival. We can admire their beauty and learn from their adaptations. But ultimately, their best chance for survival lies in protecting their natural home.
That makes sense. So as we reach the end of our deep dive into the world of leafy sea dragons, what's one key thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I'd say this: the survival of these creatures, and indeed the health of our planet, depends on our ability to see the world through a lens of interconnectedness. We are all connected, and our actions, no matter how small, have ripple effects throughout the ecosystem.
That's a powerful message. The challenges facing the leafy sea dragon are significant.
They are.
But so is our capacity for innovation, compassion, and collective action.
Absolutely.
Their story is a call to action, an invitation to step into a role of stewardship, not just for the leafy sea dragon, but for all the wondrous and interconnected life that makes our planet so extraordinary.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mysteries and marvels of the leafy sea dragon. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the wonders of our world.